we are going to see how to construct the predictive parsing table and how the parser works, means how the parsing is done. We know that parsing means that indirectly we are generating a syntax tree or a parse tree. So it is very simple. It is not complicated, but you have to think, you have to work it on logically. Logic is very simple. Whatever the algorithms are there, they are not that much complicated. Once you work out on one or two examples, as I told you, that in exam also, they ask only few limited sets of the examples or grammar examples. And if you work out on same grammar examples, in both exam, maybe summer or winter, they frequently ask on same grammars, whatever I am covering in the class. So in beginning, I told you that you have to keep your eye on the expression grammar. The expression grammar is very important, and you should be very much familiar with this expression grammar. So we are using same grammar. So that grammar can be enhanced, or it may contain, it depends. It may contain how many production rules, that we don't know. But frequently, whatever we are studying here today, those production rules are used in a exam also. So let us begin with the agenda. So I will just recap the what is top-down parsing. Then we are going to understand how to parse a token string, means a string of tokens, by using the predictive parsing table. So we are going to use the algorithm. That is very pretty simple. It is not that much complicated. So you have to just go through that algorithm. Last time I have given you, I hope you you used to download my PPTs from FTP, as well as from MS Office resources. So at least for SS, because SS is not simply a theoretical subject, it is a logical design subject. That's why you have to take little more care of this system software subject, and that too from point of view of GRE, GATE, even the aptitudes. You have to work on this subject little more. So here we are going to understand how to parse using the parsing table. Second, how to construct the parsing table, that is the algorithm. Again, two more algorithms are there. How to construct the first set and follow set. I will talk about first set and follow set. Today, I'm just covering only one example, but in next two sessions, I will cover sufficient number of examples. You don't need to refer any other material for understanding them. I will be telling you how to compute the first set. Actually, it is a set of terminals, first set and follow set, that we are going to understand quickly in this session. Now, as I told you, in top-down parsing, there are two major: recursive descent parsing and predictive parsing. In predictive parsing, basically we are focusing on predictive parsing, either table-driven or non-table driven. So table-driven parsers are there. Today we are going to see what is that. We have seen last time what is recursive descent parser. So actually, recursive descent parser or non-table driven parsers, what we do, whatever the grammar is given, we directly code that grammar. We have seen the example. We have seen the pseudocode for the non-terminals. Whatever the grammars is there, production rules are there, we directly map them into some programming language or maybe in some pseudocode. So again, I repeat, there is something called as a buffer is there. So whatever is generated from the lexical analyzer or scanner, that is stored into the buffer, that is called as the input buffer. And input buffer contains the number of statements, programming source code statements in terms of string of tokens. That is job of the lexical analyzer scanner. What it does, it reads the source code and converts it into string of tokens equivalent to original code. And here there is one symbol that is called the dollar. Dollar symbol is used to indicate the end of the statement or end of the line, or you can say end of the bunch of statements. There can be some set of statements in a buffer. But for example, we are here considering only one expression only. Then there is a pointer which is forwarded ahead depending on the action. We shall see what is action. Then on one side there is a stack. What is happening? The parsing table algorithm that this is always referring to the pointer in a buffer as well as top of the stack pointer on the stack. Stack contains terminals as well as non-terminals. It depends. Uh, it depends on the action. So we do push operation. We push some right hand side of the production rule into the stack, or we may pop some items from the stack. And parsing table is referred. So whatever action is there, means whether to do push operation, whether to do pop operation, or whether to do push and pop as well as advancing of the pointer. Sometimes it may happen that we may just do the operation on the stack, but we are not advancing our pointer one place ahead in the buffer. It may happen. It depends on the table. So here something is indicated like output. Output is nothing but it is abstract representation of the tree. As I told you last time, you just go through the previous slides, means previous lectures. The derivation sequence is nothing but abstract representation of the parse tree. So anyway, we have talked about this. Dollar is at the end and dollar is at the bottom of the stack, that you have to remember. Now, how to construct the predictive parsing table? It is simple. This is actually a way to understand how to construct. First is that remove the unbreachable production rules. Remove the ambiguity from the given grammar. Remove the left recursion. Do the left factoring of the grammar if it is needed. Sometimes it is not needed. Then compute the sets first and follow, and then construct the parsing table. So you have to refer 3 or 4 algorithms to construct a predictive parsing table. Now here is one example. We shall quickly go to the example. Here is a familiar example. This is the expression grammar. We know how to convert this in this form. So here only 5 non-terminals are there and 5 terminals are there. Terminals are generally lowercase letters like plus, star, opening bracket, closing bracket, and ID. And there is a given statement. This is a string of token ID plus ID star ID. So we have to construct first and follow set. Then we have to construct the parsing table, and then we have to apply the parsing moves on that given statement. See here on the bulb, there is a dollar. So what we are using extra symbol dollar to indicate the end of the statement, end of the source code. So this is grammar. You can number it. So numbering is very important. For example, I am not doing numbering here, but in a next unit, we will be using numbering the production rules. So right now, what is the first? So just imagine what we are doing. We are computing first element for capital letter E, then E dash, T dash, and F. First letter is nothing but, first set is nothing but, it is set of terminals. When we explore particular non-terminal, when we explore means when we substitute, and we go on substituting until some end. So on the left-hand side, we get some terminal. So whatever that terminal is there, let us say here, if you explore E, so what is E is doing? E is generating T is generating F is generating opening bracket and ID. So you have to explore the production rule. So it may happen that T might be generating some epsilon. So right now, luckily, there is no epsilon generation. So for E dash, so on the right side, what is happening? So plus is there, plus is a terminal. This is the first rightmost terminal symbol, plus, and alternative is epsilon. So that's why it is written here. Now let us say about T. T is giving you FT dash. So you have to explore F. F is giving you opening bracket and ID. So in T, you are getting opening bracket and ID. In same way, you have to explore T dash. Now see, So T dash is giving you star F T dash. So first terminal symbol is a star, and there is alternative production rule, that is a T dash tending to epsilon. So epsilon is map. In same way, last non-terminal, that is F, is map. So it is generating first terminal opening bracket and second terminal ID. So right now you just listen to me, and then you can coolly download this and go through the same example. You will understand it because we have to cover certain things. So I'm going ahead, and definitely we are going to take few more examples, grammar examples, and through that we shall see in detail in terms of steps. Here I am not using some steps. We shall see in terms of steps how to generate first set and how to generate follow set. Now, first set means that it is the occurrence of the first terminal symbol on the right hand side when we do the exploration of particular non-terminal. In same way, we can compute the follow set. So follow set will be what? It will be rightmost terminal generated. So when we go on substituting non-terminal until some termination, so we get rightmost terminal symbol, lowercase letter, that is called as a follow set. So with respect to this example, let us say E is there. So E is giving you TE dash. Now TE dash giving you third and fourth production. So if you go on, so there are some rules. Right now, don't go for a rules. So just imagine that E dash is generating closing bracket and dollar symbol. Now here, what is dollar? So it is a when you explore some start symbol like yes, for example, here E is a start symbol. So automatically you have to put dollar there. That we shall see in algorithm. So in this way, F follow set of F contains plus, star, closing bracket, and dollar. Means four symbols are there. In T and T dash, it contains three symbols. E and E dash contains two symbols. Right now, it's enough. We shall see later how to do it in detail. So it is good practice to write some table when there is a parsing example. You should write some table like this. So you can write first and follow in the label, and then you can write the first and follow sets of the individual terminals. So it is good practice because it will help you to design a parsing table. Now, how to design a parsing table? Once we have a first set and follow set, so best way is that directly map the production rules respective to the terminals. So for example, in first, there is a opening bracket and ID is there. So E is giving you production rule E T E dash. So you have to map that. Then let us say seconds. So actually you should write it in your copy or you should take the screenshot. But today we just want to cover some points, so I will be go little ahead. So this is theory. So why we need the first and follow set? Actually, first and follow sets are giving us look aheads. We have seen the concept of look ahead. Look ahead tells you which production rule we should choose during the derivation. So once we have look ahead, then it is very easy to choose the production rule. For example, if there are thousands of production rules, then it is very complicated, it is very complex to decide which production rule we should use in derivation. But if we have look aheads, then look ahead means it tells you the starting of the right hand side of particular production rule. So you can choose or pick particular production rule which starts with particular look ahead symbol. So whatever opening bracket, ID, plus, star, these are called as a look aheads. And you can see here in this grammar, let us say second number production rule in blue. E dash is starting with plus. So definitely plus is a look ahead symbol. So the construction of the both top-down and bottom-up parsers requires lookup. So these lookups are computed by using first and follow set. So first and follow set, whatever the lookups are there, they allow us to choose the right production rule when we start derivation. And it also helps in error recovery. I will be telling you what is error, how errors are detected, because basically major errors are detected during syntax analysis. Most of the errors are syntax errors. Uh, Try to understand what is a logical error, what is a lexical error, what is syntax error. Anyway, there are different types of syntax errors are there. There are different ways of detecting errors are there, and there are different ways to detect and correct the errors. Means detection and correction is different thing. Detection is different thing. So these lookaheads are used during the panic mode error recovery. We shall see later what is a panic mode recovery, phrase level recovery, and all that. So this is some algorithm, how to construct the predictive parsing table. So input is a grammar G. And then output is a parsing table. So what we have to do? We have to start with each production rule, which is like A alpha. And depending on the steps, means logic, these are the step 1 and step 2 are there. So we have to map that production rule with respect to first element, first terminal, first set in the parsing table. So for example, if first set contains epsilon, if first set contains epsilon, then you have to map follow items. If first set do not contain epsilon, then you have to map only first items. So that we are going to see in next slide. Anyway, just refer this to 5 page number, section number 4.4. Don't worry, I'm just going a little ahead. Later we shall work out 2 or 3 examples, and then you will understand what is exactly this, how this algorithm is working. You have to trust me. Okay. Anyway, so just we have a parsing table. We have first and follow sets on one side. So here there is written like if first set contains epsilon, then map all phyllo items. Now here, if you see the parsing table, there are blue entries are there. So blue entries are telling you that these are the mapping of the first items, first sets, first items of all the non-terminals. And red items are telling you you are mapping the follow items of non-terminals. Now, let us say E is there. Now, each first set, the first set of E do not contain epsilon, right? First set of E contains opening bracket and ID. So what is happening? We are just mapping opening bracket and ID. So see here column number, second column and fourth column. So what we are doing? We are directly mapping E, giving you TE dash. In same way, in opening bracket, in first row, we are mapping E with TE dash. But if you think about the E dash, now E dash, the first set contains plus and epsilon. See, this is the rule that if there is epsilon in first set, then you have to map the follow items. So follow item is closing bracket and dollar. So we are mapping. See, E has 2 production rules. One is leading to the epsilon and one is leading to some other production rule like E dash is giving you plus TE dash. So this is normal production rule. And there is another production rule that is E dash giving you epsilon. So epsilon is rule is mapped on follow items, opening bracket, closing bracket and dollar, right? And plus is there in first, it is mapped with the blue atom. That is E dash is giving you plus TE dash. I don't know whether I'm going fast, but please don't think that I'm going fast. You just listen me patiently, and we shall definitely work out on more examples, and we shall understand exactly how to interpret the algorithm for construction of the predictive parsing table. Now here we are working on the predictive parsing table. So major rule is that if first sentence its first item contains epsilon symbol, then you have to map follow items. That's it. And follow items are given here in red. And see, there are blank entries. We are putting dash there. Now this is nothing but this is the error situation. If you encounter uh, this blank, if you refer these blank entries, it means that there is some kind of syntax error. We don't know what kind of that syntax error, whether you are missing some comma or symbol or sign or operator or whatever. But blank entries tells you about the error, syntax error in the parsing. Now, just talk about the T production rule. That is the fourth production rule. T is giving you ft dash. Now T's first set is opening bracket and ID. So we are just directly mapping the right hand side of T into the predictive parsing table T ft dash. In opening bracket, it is T ft dash. But if you go for T dash contains epsilon in its first set, first item. So first item contains star. So what we are doing in column star column, we are mapping directly T dash production rule like star ft dash. And then T dash contains three follow items, right? So three follow items are mapped with another production rule, that is T dash giving you epsilon. So it is colored in red. So in same way, F is there. So F non-terminal is giving you only two first item and four follow items. But F is not giving you epsilon in first set. So we are only mapping first items. There is no need to map follow items. So please remember that if first set contains epsilon symbol, then you have to map all the first items as well as follow items in the table with alternative production rule. So here, this is a left factored and non-recursive grammar. That's why here you will observe that this grammar, all production rule starts with different symbol. All rules are starting with different symbol. So, and there are some look aheads like plus and star and opening bracket. So we have to map all the first items for all the non-terminals. We have to map all the follow items if first contains epsilon. So this is the algorithm. Now, once you have the first and follow set, then you can directly construct the predictive parsing table. We have seen the method how to normalize the grammar. So in predictive parsing table, your grammar must be LL1 type. We have seen last time what is LL1 type. I will be giving you more details that what is a LL1 grammar. So anyway, we shall go a little ahead, and then I will come back to the construction of the predictive parsing table and construction of first and follow set. Now see here what is happening. So what we are supposing is that ID plus ID star ID ending with dollar is in we are storing it into buffer, and the pointer is pointing to the first element. That's why it is called as a L, means we start reading from left to right. So pointer is at the first item, first element. And see, E is a start symbol. So dollar is on the bottom of the stack, BOS, and E is a on the top of the stack. TOS and BOS, just remember this. I will be using these terms. TOS means top of the stack. BOS means bottom of the stack. I hope you are getting me. So what we have to do, we can simplify it, how to parse the given statement. So here, only for understanding, in exam, you don't need to draw such a yellow diagram. You have to just draw some table like this: stack, input buffer, and action. It is below the parsing table. So here I am numbering it 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So 1 means step 1, 2 means step 2, like that. So let us say that we require 17 steps to parse the given statement. So the statement contains 5 tokens. 5 tokens are there, right? Actually, 3 tokens are there. Means ID is only 1 token, and plus and star is a rest of the tokens. But total, if you count, there are 5 tokens are there. And we consume these tokens by substituting appropriate non-terminal, by referring the parsing table. This is called as a consumption of token. We shall understand what is consumption of token. Consumption of token means what? We are reading the token from the buffer. We are doing some push or pop, or maybe advancing a pointer. When we advance a pointer one place ahead, it means we are consuming a token successfully. And when we consume complete string of tokens, we say that we have done successful parsing or generation of syntax tree. So here, see, there is a line: stack, input buffer, and action. Now we shall see what is action. But before that, just understand what is the first step. So stack is telling you, first step is telling you that dollar is on the bottom of stack. See here, I don't know whether you are able to see my mouse pointer. Can you see this mouse pointer when I move? Please, can you raise your hands for 1 second? Okay, thank you, Anish. Thank you, Nayan, Sahil. So this I am doing underlining. So this underlining tells that the E is on the top of the stack. So whatever will be on the underline, it will be on the top of the stack. And in case of the buffer, ID is underlined. It means that the pointer is pointing to that particular item, that particular symbol. Let us say ID is a symbol. So right now, the yellow diagram is telling you that your pointer is pointing to ID. First symbol, leftmost symbol, and stack pointer TOS is pointing to E. So what we have to do? So depending on the top of the stack and depending on the pointer, depending on the forward pointer, you have to refer to the parsing table. So on the above, there is a parsing table. I don't know, the people who are using mobile phone, they may be facing some problem, but while parsing, you need complete parsing table for your reference, because we cannot do it. We cannot remember. So anyway, don't worry. Just be with me, and I will be telling you, I will be explaining it in better way, how to do the parsing. So here E is on the top of the stack. ID is pointed by the pointer, by the algorithm. So we have to refer E and ID. So it is given in the table, and we have to do some action. And we take the action depending on the, so there is a action algorithm is there, parsing action algorithm is there. We shall see what is that. So this is the action algorithm. Don't worry, you may not be able to read this, but later you download this PPT and then read. So what is the objective? Here, this algorithm tells you how to parse a given statement. So here, this is called as a table-driven predictive parsing algorithm. So just call this as an action table or action algorithm. So means what action we have to take when there is a something on the top of the stack and when there is something below the pointer, then what action we should take. So this algorithm tells you. So input is a token string. The output is the leftmost derivation of that particular token string. Means what is our output when we do recursively, when we operate this algorithm recursively on that given statement or a string of tokens, then we get parsing derivation. We ultimately derive that given statement. So I will summarize it in next slide. I'm not reading this right now. There is no need. So this is simple. I have simplified this. So what is this? Let us assume that X is on the top of the stack and A is on the input buffer. Means pointer is pointing to that buffer A. Let us say, so A can be a terminal, A can be non-terminal, A can be some symbol. So if the topmost, if the stack contains dollar and the pointer points to the dollar, means that is the end of the buffer. You just recall that dollar is at the end of the statement. So it means that you have to halt, means you have to stop and you have to announce success. It means you have done successful parsing. Second is that second situation, when the top of the stack is not equal to dollar, the top of the stack is not a dollar symbol, then what we have to do? We have to refer the parsing table and we have to do pop operation. So जो भी top of the stack रहेगा, whatever the top of the stack will be there, we have to move it out. That non-terminal or maybe terminal, we have to move out from the stack and we have to advance the pointer. So in simple words, second step is that if TOS is not dollar, then pop and advance the pointer. Now, third situations, third case, if the top of the stack is a non-terminal, then what we have to do? So whatever non-terminal, let us say X is a non-terminal, it is giving you production rule like X is giving you UVW. Let us say 3 non-terminals are there on the right hand side. I have done it bold. So if top of the stack contains X as a non-terminal and this non-terminal has some production rule in a given grammar, then what we have to do? We have to pop that item from the stack and we have to post right hand side of that non-terminal. So what is right hand side? UVW का right hand side. When you push, तो आपको उसको reverse में करना पड़ेगा. You have to do it in reverse. So UVW is there. So you will push first W, then V, and then U. तो stack में थोड़ा सा reverse करना पड़ता है. You have to just remember this. So push the non-terminal, pop the non-terminal and push the right hand side of that non-terminal. This is called the action. And if the top of the stack contains something, but if you refer that parsing table and there is a blank or a dash, it means that there is some kind of syntax error. We don't know right now what kind of syntax error is there. Maybe some missing or whatever, or spelling mistake or something. But if you are referring during your parsing, if you are referring to the blank entry in a parsing table, it means that there is some error. So normally there is a parser called some error routine. It may be some call or jump statement and it executes particular statement function and it resumes the parsing again. So anyway, simple rule is that if top of the stack contains dollar, then halt and announce. If it doesn't contain dollar, it contains something, then pop and advance the pointer. And third is that if the top of the stack contains capital letter, that is non-terminal, then pop the non-terminal and push the right hand side of that non-terminal. This is simple. So this is called as a non-recursive predictive parsing algorithm and is action, or I call it as action table. So whatever the slide number 16 is nothing but it is a summary or crux of the previous algorithm. So let us go ahead. So here in step 1, we have seen that pointer is pointing to ID, TOS is capital E. So what we do, we pop the E from the stack and we push right hand side of that production. So it is given in table, that is a TE dash. So when we push TE dash, we will first push E dash first and then T. I hope you got. So, and in action, in first row, serial number 1, I have written that you have to substitute this production rule, and we are using rule number 3 from the algorithm, parsing algorithm or action algorithm, and operation is push. So instead of, so we are popping E and pushing right hand side of E. E is a non-terminal. So what will happen? And here we are not moving the pointer. Please note, in step 1, there is a diagram. It is very clear that, see here, serial number 2, here we have removed the E and we have pushed reverse of the production rule. That is E, E dash and T. Now what will happen? T will be on the top of the stack. So this can be seen like this. See here, we have pushed T and E dash into the stack. So TOS is right now pointing to T, and the forward pointer is pointing to first letter, because we have not moved that pointer any place. We have not moved it because there is no action like that. So this is step 2. So आपके ध्यान में आ गया what we have done? By referring the parsing table, we have substituted production rule. We have done the we have done the pop operation as well as push operation. We have popped the previous non-terminal and we have pushed the right hand side of that non-terminal. So here you will see that T is under, so if you line number 2 is there, so T is underlined. So it means that T is on the top of the stack. So T is on the top of the stack and ID is pointed by pointer. So if you refer this point parsing table, so T wala row hai, it is a third row, T and ID. So it is giving you the production rule T, giving you FT dash. So what we have to do in third step, we have to again remove the T form because T is a non-terminal from the stack, and we have to push the right hand side of T, production rule of the T. So in third step like this. So what we have done in third step, we have push FT dash rule. So if you see the third line, serial number 3, so F will be on the top of the stack. So we have push first T dash and then F. As I told you that we have to push in reverse order of the right hand side. So F will be on the top of the stack. See the diagram, yellow diagram. So now your parser is pointing to F. This is TOS and pointer is pointing to ID. So ID is, that pointer is not yet moved. We are not moved because there is no situation like that. So this is step number 3. Now here, top of the stack contains F and pointer points to ID. So refer the parsing table. Parsing table is giving you production. There is some entry. F is giving you ID. So what you have to do? You have to pop top element from the stack and you have to push the right hand side of that non-terminal, whatever you have. So here you will see. So I hope you are getting that we have removed F in fourth step. We have removed F and we have pushed right hand side of F, that is ID. See here in fourth step, what is happening? We are pointing to ID. TOS is pointing to ID and the pointer is pointing to ID. Now both the situation, both the TOS and pointer are pointing to terminal. When there is a terminal, there is a pop operation, right? And when there is a terminal on TOS as well as on in the buffer pointer, then you have to do pop operation and you have to move one place ahead. So here, what is happening? In fourth step, ID is there. ID is pointed by the pointer. So we are doing, see, read the serial roll number, serial 4, line number 4. Pop and advance the pointer. See, so pop means what? You have to just removing the first item from the top of the stack. Here we are not doing any substitution. Please note. Here we are not doing any substitution because both the entries, TOS and buffer, are pointing to some terminal. So when there is some situation like this, when both items are terminals, then you have to do pop and advance the pointer. So once you advance the pointer, what will happen? So your pointer will move ahead. It will read plus symbol. So you see if you read roll number 5, so there is underline plus जो है उसको अंडरलाइन है एंड टी डैश जो है उसको अंडरलाइन है. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया? हमने पहला वाला आइटम पॉप कर दिया एंड वी हैव मूव्ड द पॉइंटर वन प्लेस अहेड. So this is a step 4. Now step 5. See, I'm not deleting the elements in an actual buffer, whatever. This is only for understanding. But in case of this table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever is below the parsing table. So here we are removing that entry from the input buffer. Actually, we are removing it. But here, only for understanding, I am keeping that entry on the yellow diagram. So see here, what is happening? Algorithm is pointing to the plus, means second token, and TOS is pointing to the T dash. So you read the line number 5. So T dash underline it is on the top of the stack. Plus is underlined, it is on the top of the stack. So what action we should take? So it is non-terminal on the top of the stack. It means you have to refer the parsing table. So if you refer T dash plus, so there is a red entry, that is a T dash giving you epsilon. So what you have to do, जो भी टॉप ऑफ द स्टैक एलिमेंट है उसको आपको पॉप करने का है और सब्स्टिट्यूट करने का. नाउ इन दिस केस व्हाट इज देयर? T dash giving you epsilon, that is empty. Epsilon means you don't need to actually push anything. You have to just do the pop operation. So this is typical case, right? So you are in fifth step. What you are doing? You are just removing the top of the stack, that is a T dash, and you are not moving the pointer one place ahead as per the algorithm, because T dash is giving you, see, read the line number 5. T dash is giving you epsilon. So let us see step number 6. See here. So what we have done? We have removed the T dash. See the line number 6, serial number 6. So only because of this space, I have just shifted this, and it is very hard to keep all the things on one slide. It is only for understanding, but from next examples, I will simplify it in more simpler way. So serial number 6 contains E dash on the top of the stack, plus is underlined. So it is pointed by the pointer. See the yellow diagram. So this is a current configuration. This is called as a configuration, right? When you do the parsing, so what is happening? Parser is changing its state. So
ओली झाली पाहिजे, भाकर त्याला स्वादाला पाहिजे आणि भाजीमध्ये पण टाकून देतात, मग बरं वाटेल, चांगलं वाटेल ते.
Okay. So see, uh, so you have seen the line number 5 and 6. So now, as per the configuration, so configuration is there means what? So current situation is there. Due to some input, you are changing from one state to another. So that is called as a configuration. So this yellow diagram is telling you the configuration of the parser, means current position of the stack, current position of the pointer in the buffer, like. So step number 6. So E dash is on the top of the stack, plus is on the pointed by the pointer. So you just refer the parsing table, E dash plus. So there is a production rule, blue production rule. So you have to substitute that production rule. See the serial number 6. So E dash is giving you plus T dash. So what you have to do? You have to pop left hand side of the production rule, that is a E dash, and you have to push in reverse E dash, T and plus. So we shall see in a 7 step in next slide like this. So this is there. So right now, what is the current configuration? 7 state. Plus is there on the top of stack. It is underlined. T is below it. E dash is below it, and dollar is in red. So plus is on the top of the stack. And see, the buffer pointer is pointing to the plus, second symbol, second token. Now TOS and pointer both are indicating terminal. When same terminal is there on the TOS as well as buffer pointer, then you have to do advance action and you have to do pop action. That's why if you read serial number 7, so plus is there on the stack and plus is there in the buffer. So you are doing action, pop and advance pointer. So it is very simple. So what will happen? You will see in step number 8. So step number 8 is telling you that you have removed plus from the top of the stack. So step number 8. So you have removed plus from the top of the stack. Now your current TOS is capital T. It is a non-terminal. And you have moved your pointer again one cell ahead as per the previous action. 7, serial number 7, advanced pointer, you have advanced the pointer. So now there is a capital T non-terminal on the TOS and terminal pointed by the buffer. So if this is the situation, if there is a capital letter non-terminal on the TOS, then you have to refer the parsing table. So T is giving you, T on ID is giving you FT dash. So you have to push. First you have to pop the T and then you have to push right hand side of T. That is a non-terminal, T is a non-terminal. So you have to push first T and then F. So if you read the line number 9, then F will be on the top of the stack. So let us say this is slide number 25. So F is on the top of the stack as per the 9 serial number 9. So anyway, I will just go little faster. So in this way, if we have to refer the parsing table, if there is a capital letter or non-terminal on the top of the stack, and if it is a terminal and buffer is also pointing to the terminal, then you have to just quickly pop the item and you have to advance the pointer. So in 10, ID is on the top of the stack. You have substituted as per the rule, and ID is pointed by the buffer. So what you will do pop and advance the pointer, because TOS and buffer pointer both contains terminal symbol ID. So again, pop and advance like this. So 11th number, read the 11th number line. So T dash is on the top of the stack, it is underlined, and star is pointed by the buffer, it is underlined. So if you read the serial number 11 line. So this is a configuration. So T and star. So you have to refer the parsing table. So T dash star is giving you production rule star FT dash 11 line number 11. So you have to pop T dash and push star F and T dash in reverse like this. So this is a 11 configuration. So in 12th situation, TOS is pointed by a star and buffer is also pointing to the star. Both are the terminals. You have to just you read the serial number 12. So on both places, terminal is there. You have to pop and advance the pointer. So step number 13 will be like this. So new top of the stack will contain F and pointer will point to ID. So see how the pointer is moving ahead as per the parsing action. Parsing table. Parsing table tells you what action we have to do. So read line number 13, serial 13. F is on the top of the stack, ID is on the buffer. So again refer the parsing table. You have to do the substitution as per rule number 3, action 3. So in this way, again, we get ID and ID on the TOS as well as on the pointer. So again, we do pop and advance. So in this way, if you read the 15th row, so T dash is on the top of the stack and input buffer is pointing to the dollar. Dollar is in the red, right? So T dash dollar, there is an entry, red entry. That is a T dash is giving you epsilon. So you have to push epsilon. When you push epsilon means what? You do nothing. You just remove the left-hand side of that non-terminal. You just remove the non-terminal. You don't do nothing because there is a epsilon. So see serial number 15 line. So as per the RAID production rule, so we are pushing nothing. So in 16th step, line number 16, so you have E dash on the top of the stack and buffer pointer is pointing to the dollar. So again, if you refer the parsing table, so again, you have to substitute the E dash giving you epsilon production rule. So that is a push operation. So you have to just do the pop and push nothing. So in 17th step, you will find that there is a dollar on the top of the stack because we have removed all the items from the buffer. Means you have exhausted the buffer and you have reached to the end of the input buffer. So dollar is there on the TOS and dollar is at the end of the buffer. So in this way, we have successfully, if you refer this parsing table algorithm, then we have successfully parsed the statement. So I'm sorry, I have taken little time, but it was required for this, at least first example. And I will just quickly sum up the things. So in this way, this is a slide representing complete parsing actions from step number 1 to 17. Parsing table is there. And here, halt and successful on a means it means that we have consumed all the tokens and there is nothing in the buffer, stack. So this is called as a consumption of token. And it means we have done successful derivation in particular order. So anyway, I'm just closing, but you download this and read the first set rules. This is algorithm. Follow set rules. This is algorithm. And this is one more example we shall discuss in the next lecture. But you download it. I request you to download the PPTs and simply don't think that you just download and read it. For some examples, you do manually, you do write pen and paper, you do the computation on your own, then you will understand. And whatever I may skip certain things, but you will reveal when you do the things, you will reveal something, whatever I have skipped, escape from my discussion. So here there is a grammar. It contains only 3 non-terminals and 5 production rules. You have to derive like this. So I have given you first and follow set in next slide. So of this, you don't need to compute the first and follow set. We shall see in next lecture how to compute first and follow set with in detail. And you just do the parsing of this given statement A, C, D, B, dollar. So we shall discuss few more examples in detail in next session. I thank you. I thank you all. You have listened me carefully, patiently. I don't know what is happening because on your side, but I hope at least I have conveyed something, and some of you might have understood what is that. And if not, don't worry. एक झटके में कोई भी चीज आती नहीं. If we go through 1 or 2 or more examples, then we can understand easily the theoretical concepts of all algorithms and processing of the parsing. So I am going to stop here. I am thankful to you for listening me. Thank you very much.